The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. Western Conference battles, always fun. This time it's the San Antonio Spurs intent on protecting home court. This is the first they're seeing of the Timberwolves here. First game of the NBA's regular season for them. Last season they won all 4 games, showing complete dominance.
And they were unbeaten against this club last season. Not surprising considering where they both finished in the standings.
Well, they're more talented, more accomplished at this point, but you can't rely on that and start taking plays off. You could get surprised.
Tip-off goes to Minnesota. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. And it's Teague in at the 1 spot.
Well, a point guard must understand window of opportunity, and Jeff Teague specializes in exactly that.
And the shot goes in. Teague's got his first basket of the night. So it's the Spurs now. 4-point game. And Jeff Teague grew up in Indianapolis, a Pacers fan. He actually expected them to draft him back in 2009.
What a journey, though. He expected to be picked by them, but goes 19th to Atlanta. But after 7 years, finally ends up with his Pacers. Now moving on to Minnesota, playing alongside the great Jimmy Butler and the rest of that young team. Let's see what happens here.
So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, listen, Kev, we know this. Getting to the line has become such a big part of Jimmy Butler's game. I can't help but admire how he has put together a complete package of an NBA game. It's really a thing of beauty.
That free throw good from Butler. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
6 on the shot clock. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And over the years, Gasol has proven himself to be a valuable teammate. Someone guys love to be around, a guy that plays well with just about anybody. And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
Gasol hits them both. And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that 3-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Towns dishes to Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
What a quick read by Towns, always keeping his head up.
Here's San Antonio. It's a 5-point game. Knocks it loose. One-on-one here. And the dunk by Towns.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Well, that's how you attack in transition. Remarkable effort, getting as high percentage a look as you can really get.
Now here's Murray. Gasol passes to Murray. And Gibson sends it back.
Boy, Gibson's so good at timing these rejections. Twice on the pipes from Taj.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And then for Minnesota, Gorgie Dangs checked in for Gibson. Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins. And it's Crawford in for Butler. Here's Gay. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Towns. Gay misses. They play the clock right, then go 2 for 1.
Just got to time it up right.
And it's Teague, that time on the assist by Towns. Teague's got his second bucket of the game to go. Spurs have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Ginobili kicks to Mills. Pass to Gay. A fader. And that one comes up a bit short.
Boy, he's definitely covered well there. And we know he can knock down the fadeaway shot. Just didn't fall there.
Here's Crawford. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Crawford's got his first basket of the night.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And it's early, but obviously you've got to like the dominance down low. They're simply bullying the other team right now.
Here's Jang. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so the first quarter is in the books. Timberwolves lead by 9. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
I mean, tremendous ball and body movement to start this game.
I think they're moving the basketball incredibly well and getting to the right spots on the floor, and it's really providing easy opportunities.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, down low, it's Jang and Towns. Jones is out there with Crawford, and it's Muhammad in at the 3. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Laverne.
Oh! Look at that. Oh, how about the talent, the creativity? Butler with the highlight reel attack.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
My goodness, Jimmy Butler is so explosive. Half-court transition, it doesn't matter where it is.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Spurs trail by 15. Mills dishes to Gay. Kicks to Anderson. Spurs passing it around. Here's Aldridge. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Zhang, a screen. Jones kicks to Zhang. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Gay, right side. They get the rebound. Aldridge. Another shot, and the rejection by Zhang.
Oh, the 7'3" wingspan erases that shot. Nice by Gorgui Zhang.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. Teague comes in for Tyus Jones. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And San Antonio called for the foul. The Timberwolves have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
And Kevin, this is why Teague is such a valuable player. You know, he's a solid shooter from anywhere, so he's able to space the defense. He can, with his handle, get inside the paint. There's a lot to like about Jeff Teague.
Towns with the steal. Right side, Butler. Here's Gibson. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Jeff, you guys had a great first half. Is the key to the second half to continue to be that aggressive?
Yeah, we got to play defense. They're a really good team. They're going to play hard. They're real physical. We just got to come out and keep guarding.
Jeff, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.